morning. Welcome to the Wise One channel. I am your host, Lady Caren, and we will begin video. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Just regular coffee this morning with a little bit of brunch. Yes, a little cream and I sprinkled pumpkin spice seasoning in it. Yeah, it's not bad. Got cinnamon balls. I've got a migraine coming. Probably drink more water. Okay. So, you've made it through what, third week? Let's take a look. Yeah, it's like third week. It's like the 25th. Oh shit. How do I go back? Okay, so I have an appointment. Okay, it's 21st after an appointment with a tire place. They're getting me tires. Okay. And yeah. I'll be there. It's only 6. Let's see when the appointment is. It is Saturday. It'll tell me I have nothing on my schedule today in my email. You have no events scheduled. I have events scheduled today. It says work. Yeah, no. I do. Okay, so it's still doing that. You guys don't want to listen to that in the background if you guys can hear it, so I should probably go turn that off. What was I doing? Calendar. Hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're good on time. So yeah. Hold on. Alright. It's for my kid. I've got to pack somewhere. To write my to-do list on there or something. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this row of single stitches. This morning. So today our car gets a half a set of tires. Yeah. Yeah, we should probably do it this way. Start with this row. It's cute. I like this. I don't know what I did here, but it's yeah. I don't know. That's gonna make it right. Hmm. Here. So that the fact that I'm not talking, it looks you're watching something for the last 5 minutes, right? Going to do a single stitch all the way across. The most difficult part that I'm having, many different people have different difficulties. This one is the same, it's the same tension along the whole thing. I'm trying to way to better, but I just I don't know what that is. So yeah, it's different every day. Somehow still do that same breathing thing where you breathe. Today you might breathe differently. You might take a deep breath. Let's do it again. Table across the leg. Rest my feet up. Nope, nope, I'm not resting my feet up apparently. That's like a foot rest. I need like a foot rest. Anyways, out of here, and then here, left. So yeah. So deep breath. Deep breath. Breath out. And chair again, don't I? So, if you're not sure what my content is, I can't tell you. I'm not sure either. Yeah. So, liking and subscribing, you don't know what you're going to get. I have a feeling that even if you did like and subscribe, I have a feeling YouTube would be like, no, no, not this person. Saturday, I don't know where the week went. I don't. Somewhere in here. Live. What I want. Sure. Today's a little disorienting, but I'll figure it out. The last stitch always looks like it's literally vertical, so horizontally across. So it's probably why it's not. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with the border somehow. I'm gonna have to make a border on it. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Two. I just changed two. Okay. So what am I going to do? It's about the size, isn't it? Or is there one more? Can't tell. It's like, question is this the same height as this part? I think make one more crossed, a single stitch. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do one more single stitch across. I don't know. This side looks so then you put me on. Right? That looks checkered. No, that doesn't look right. Hold on. My edges. One, chain one, okay. How does that look? Like I've gone off the rails with a crazy train. I don't think it's supposed to have it like a, I want to call them nipple arm up. I have no idea the content because, like yesterday, I was thinking I'd do something about autism and that from an autistic point of view, but okay, so this goes going here. So straighter. Straight. I did not take a professional class, obviously. There was money in this. I mean, have to sell this for like over $100, but it's not like the quality is not over $100. It's just the sheer amount of time I spent into it because I don't remember how to crochet as well. It's like I know how to dribble and put a ball in a basket, but did I know the rules of basketball? Oh, heys no. It's yeah. I'm gonna go with this, and nobody's dying, so now professional people that get paid to crochet, or people that have just crocheted for more than 2 years. Commenting would be a wonderful way to express what I'm doing. Well, just some advice. What I'm doing wrong with my ends. Probably the same thing I'm doing wrong with the ends of my life, with the ends of my week, the ends of my day. Yeah. There's no music. We're talking. Just crocheting. It's fanning out. Like, it's totally going this way instead of this way up. It's I don't know. But these seem relatively straight. Let's do a single stitch. I think this is a single stitch. As long as I do it all the way across, then it looks pretty good, right? So whatever I do, as long as it's all the way across, it looks like it's being part of the pattern, because therefore it's a pattern. So you can't go wrong. I don't know. I don't know. No, I just can't. Sure of. I've got to sandpaper this. So sandpaper this. But we need some sauerkraut right here. It's purple and it's pretty, and hopefully it will turn out. Yeah, I should probably put a bit of water in there, but okay. But yeah, those. And still after this before we go do our thing. I was gonna talk for this video. It's been like almost like not much talking. So I double trouble. That's what we'll call one of the offsprings. I'm not giving you much information on the offsprings because the way talk about my younglings. Didn't want too much information to get out, but yeah, it's not exactly the safest world on the internet. But waking up is not the safest task in the world either. Now the part is, it's easier to solve everybody else's problems but my own. It's harder to be self-reflective. It's harder to look at me than it is to see through my eyes. You need a tool like a reflection in order to be able to see you, you know. So how long do you go? I mean, is it culturally before mirrors and maybe reflections in the water? Like to teach a small child, oh, that's you in the mirror. What did they teach their children, like your reflection in the water, or did they, if they died of cholera or something, and they didn't have good hygiene practices? Mm. Back then, yeah, I can imagine being a young adult seeing your reflection in the water for the first time. Where does he stand in water? I mean, hard to see your reflection in moving water. Like if you have moving water all the time, then you come traveling to a standing water. I mean, like how would you respond? Not doing that your whole life, you probably respond like how you did as a child. It's your first exposure to that. Yeah, it's intriguing. I would live hundreds and hundreds of years. Since the calendar was different, what was 100 years? Somebody do the math. To live to be 100 years. 213, got married. Wonder how old he really was when he got married, I'm just random stuff, not specifically who got married or whatever book. So now about the way recorded our information and how they embellished or the way that they maybe because we have to be taught small children to not embellish the story when we talk about actual scientific stuff. Certain stuff has to be, you know. So when they wrote stories about their dreams and everything, and they depict, don't tell stories, don't tell tales, we tell our children. Well, what if they hadn't done that? What if, the way people tell things and the way people talk, well, it just is. Did people take each other at the word? How valuable was that more that became more valuable? Word of a knight or word of a, you know, what's so honorable? We taught that they are honorable people and you can depend on their word. And so many things that we take for granted in our everyday life, in our every mannerisms. We trace back to the money because we currently live in a capitalist market. Things like which side our buttons are on, if you have a male shirt versus a female shirt, binary, non-binary. I mean, these things that we're trying to get rid of, like gender and whatnot, gender stigmatism. Not so much get rid of gender, but gender stigmatism. Eventually, we're going to get rid of gender because apparently the male chromosomes are dying out. Yeah. We're evolving as a species. It's exciting. So, yeah. It's like before our eyes, a couple of generations, there won't be any boys. Was valuable. I just don't need there to be a gender thing. Like, as we're getting rid of a certain sex, we are also getting rid of the gender. It always looked like a funky Y chromosome. Always looked like an incomplete X chromosome to me. And it's like, that's not a Y. It's like somebody wrote something squiggly down and we had to decipher, oh, that kind of looks like a what? No, like incomplete chromosomes. So it looked like a strange variation. Like it made all the parts, it just forgot to put where it's supposed to put all the parts. Like they have parts for breast, but you just forgot to fill them with tissue or something. Like you're missing the little leg of the double X chromosome. Yeah, it's intriguing. It's our rare species. They're the same species of humans. It's just sometimes it feels like they're not the same species. The way guys do things, the way that they're taught to be different from girls. The truth is, they're the same. Try to navigate our lives in this world somehow. What's right from wrong? What's right for one person might not be what's right for the other person. but morally what's right. It's interesting because I'm growing up in a place where we have laws for the country, and we have state laws, city laws, and rules and other words for ways of live by. You're born into it. You can influence it, but it takes a bit of red tape to influence the government, politically speaking. Be aware of your laws, how to behave, so your parents are working over 16 hours a day with 2 or 3 jobs just to keep the roof over your head. Unless you're totally rich, where you work like 2-3 hours and make a lot of money. Okay. So yeah, I gotta get started on passive income so I can work on my active income. We have our health, shelter, food. Alright, let's focus. Yeah, I'm almost done with row. Per row. That should be what? See, I have no idea how long it took me to do this row, but of single stitches, so see, it looks that looks straight, but the rest of this does not look straight. All right, yeah, yeah. Well, terms how we approach things, how we do things, what we do about the things that are involving our life. Um, tends to make an impact. I believe it just changes. Like you change one thing a day, like plugging your cell phone in. Like somebody plugged their cell phone in at night that normally forgets and turn and it's late because they had to get gas. Cell phone died, their alarms didn't go off, and they're constantly late. They're practically and they lie about things at work and they stop Starbucks and all this other stuff that's obfuscating, more and more stuff about this person. May or may not be like this hypothetical person that doesn't exist. And they like to work every day, but if they plugged their cell phone in the night before and they wake up on time and their cell phone has a reminder that they put on there get gas because they use the new app, whatever. These are just hypothetical things that one thing changed their life and they're on time, they work, they get they shop the right place, the right time at work, that they get a promotion. They get, just their whole life changes. That doesn't always happen. I mean, people change one or two things in their lives all the time, so it's not life altering. But hypothetically, in this scenario, in this simulation, and they have time later to take a shower, do the things that they need to do, take care of just everyday things. And it just snowballs from there, one better thing after another, instead of like all things going downhill and a not so pretty snowball. Or a snowball of unpleasant things or things that they don't like, things that they'd rather avoid in parts of life that are just awful. And so changing like one thing in their life. I like that diet story that the man changed from regular Coke to Diet Coke that one time. It wasn't what made him healthy, it was the fact that he changed things after that. The fact that he knew he could change his Diet Coke from regular Coke helped him understand that he could change other things in his diet. But not all that. What I mean, like, what one small change that could avalanche a better life of just raining amount of good things or things that you prefer or things that attune to you, things that are, that work for you and change your life. Because sometimes I think we seek out the one small change that will fundamentally, like, why is my whole life not stable. One small change that ends up building a strong foundation. Um, I'm just looking for that small alteration. Because some people have that small alteration. Their life is great and they tell everybody about it. And we look for it, we want it, and I have no idea the amount of the thing that small change that makes the work of improving more manageable, doable, attainable. That's the kind of thing that I wonder about, small difference in life, considering small differences that have the biggest impact. Like how much easier it is to manage this than to put it in a grocery bag. Revenue. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't going to fit in here, but yeah. I picked these up instead of pockets. I was trying to pick up clear pockets instead of dividers. I could probably still use this between the songs so that they know which song is which. But yeah, for music. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna do a cute little system today just to try it out. I've got an app on here with to-do lists. But yeah, we're gonna do that. Alright. Alright. We're going to do everything down, and then we're going to do we have paper? That. I'm right up. You guys are going to click off because it's, I do like an hour a day or so. So we are on the new moon. We're getting rid of mess. Yeah. I can't believe it's the 21st already. I like the 21st speech one. Yeah, Newman. So it's like background. So we have to look at the weather and everything. Oh, so pretty. I see this. It is pretty. Second Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn. The moon is in Capricorn today. Or new moon. Well, basically a little black circle. Okay. And then It rises at 9:30 a.m. So, yeah. Okay. Let's go check out the weather, but we don't want to. This one says 31, currently 31, early feels like 23. I think it's supposed to be a high of 34. Ugh. 34 Fahrenheit. Our freezing in Fahrenheit is 32. So it's like just above 0 Celsius. Is that right? Yeah, something. So not compared to, yeah, it's cold. Our 0 is way below freezing. Negative numbers are like you can't survive up there. Cloudy, so and it's cloudy. It's the horizon is so cloudy. Oh my gosh. So what does the other website say about the weather, just to verify? It's saying it's 30. Oh my gosh, way below. Says it's not 34 until like tonight. That's fine. I'm okay. I'm just weird sounds. Just comfortable. I got 2 loads to fold. I got 1, 2. They're dry, but yeah. So we get. Alright, I just those eggs. I hit the button. Okay, this is so simple. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so that's not hard. Alright, so I've got on here, we're doing our to-do list. I put the laundry, I put fold, put one. I might divvy up into putting away, so then this laundry goes to fold. And I might put away, load one, load two. Clear this kitchen table. It's not that messy, but if the faster I do it, the sooner I do it, the less work, the easier. It's just to clear the living room. I have to drop off the car. We're going to get tires today. I wonder what we're about. The vacuum. The van. I want that cleaned out. Then we need a meal plan for the week. And then, so, here. I'm sure I have more. I have it on the screen. I'm using this to do thing. I think it's like Google. And then yogurt. Where did I put that down? Thank you. So I made sauerkraut. Yogurt. We're gonna do that next after I get up here. Yogurt. Okay. Schedule. Alright. Things that I want to do daily. I want to take 2 hours and do my daily stuff that needs done the first 2 hours of the day. That is a long time. But it takes a human 2 hours to get up in our society. The way that we do things, we don't just drop out of bed and we're ready to go start the day. It can take you 2 hours to fully wake up. Grab coffee, drink coffee, do things. Take the video, exercise. You probably want to see exercising videos. That's another thing is I need to outline. Write that down here. Outline. YouTube videos. YouTube videos of exercising. You probably want to watch morning routines, face washing. That seems to be a popular thing. Okay, so oops, dishes. You guys probably want to do more dishes. Okay, I'll get that out and going. And those are probably more things that you guys want to do. Like my most popular videos, as I don't have popular videos anymore. You guys don't want this is for me apparently to make videos. You get exclusive, just me drinking coffee, talking, and this is probably a journal for me to go and remember and things to do. Trying to get the life together. Did I get my life together from there to here? And vision board outline. Vision board. Okay. And then we should make a vision board this way. This last, yeah, yeah, that'll be fun. Board, yeah. So sort through this stuff. So I've got like lots and lots of stuff to sort through and reorganize and put it where it belongs and just to organize things. Yeah, now I'm starting to get things going. It's because I need to be cooking breakfast and getting things done so that we can, by the time I have to run my errand, be done. So this is the stuff that should have been done by now. Fun. And I was so frustrated because my brain was not going to get any of that done until because I was zombie fat. I was just gonna say and go, my brain was not. Maybe that I didn't have enough coffee or something, but yeah. So I want to get this stuff. And these are going to be things that I'm learning to, like daily. Learning to do like every day, like it's a normal thing. It's just, yeah, how I want it done. Exercise, eat right, things that just 2 hours of my day every day. And then I can do whatever through the rest of the day that comes up. Because a lot of times I'm just like, something pulls me to go or leads me to go do something else and I don't get something done, or I'm sitting there going, I know I should be checking my email, but I watched a movie instead. You know, just my life was not organized, and it probably wasn't a safe environment to be organized in, or to get to do the organizing. Once it's organized, it probably would have been beneficial in that environment, this environment, and the next. But it wasn't a environment or a skill that I had acquired to do. It's just something that I had seen, been like, oh, look at organized person, organized life. Yeah. So we're gonna write down like, all right, so meals. So cooking at home. That's scary to think that going out because I just went out to eat yesterday. But I mean, like, but we spent so much money on the food at home. And I'm sitting there going, did I really make meals? And I didn't make meals. All right, so cooking at home. So you gotta have, like, you know how there's like 3 things to do and there's 45,000 steps per item, per task. And the ADD brain goes, short circuit, and shut down now. Okay, so we've got this written down, so I'm going to just do that under this. Just do that. Okay. So when I worry about getting a shower or bath every day, I'm not just worried about my shower and bath. I gotta make sure all the other people in the house are bathed and showered or whatever that they need. Yeah, the children and everything. That it's done, that they made sure to do it, or that they can do it for them, you know, that they've done it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do something. I have an idea and I gotta quit thinking in the middle of it, oh, this is stupid, I gotta do this idea to completion. It's overly simple. And then when it gets to be overly simple, I'm like, that can't be right. There's something wrong with it. No, I have to do it through completion. This idea, because it's overly simple, I have to get it done so that I can get to the more complicated things in my life, which is hard. So my system might not work for you, and that's okay. Where did I put that? Okay. All right, so all right. And this is a lot of piece of paper, so I should probably come up with a system that's not so wasteful, but we're going to try it. Inspirations. A lot of people already know how to do like, oh, wash their face every day and get up and do all that stuff. But with the fact that you can get depressed and do stuff, it's just sometimes that day, by the time you get to it, there really isn't time because you have to focus on your kid. And for whatever reason, with no judgment for those who don't get certain things done, but they go and they kick ass at their job and, you know, at work, but their home life suffers. Like, yeah, no. So everybody is different, very different, and that's okay. Because we're just gonna make the best out of all these differences. And yeah, inspiration. Yeah. All right, so my to-do list, my random, my drink, my coffee. All right. What else should I do with my green cup? Okay, so what I'm doing is certain categories on my everyday thing, like brain dumping, which a lot of you guys see on my coffee. Drink coffees under that. So I have like to write out my to-do list, to write out my inspirations, to drink coffee, meal plans, and then plan out is another subcategory, which is meal plans. The study schedule, plan out. Oh, here we go. So schedule, um, study schedule, work schedule. Okay. Because I have grooming, like get dressed and do all that stuff. Like I might wear clothes one or two times, one or 2 days, which isn't that bad as long as I'll change my underwear. But for me to go and get dressed, when you have like a minute to walk out the door, is interesting because like the hardest part is the linear time between this day and the next day. And you realize it's been 2 days instead of like I just took a nap, which was in the middle of the night, and got up and just kind of like continued your day. A lot of people don't have that, So like sometimes my day stretches for 2, 3 days. Sometimes my day is half a day. Um, and then I take a nap. an actual nap, like 2-3 hours, and then I get up the rest of the thing and do like a completely do all my chores over again, do all the things that I need to do, like that separate out a day. Um, I want to do it once in the 2 hour. I want to take 2 hour chunk and get a routine, and that is because my autism needs routine, but my ADHD needs new all the time, new. Um, in order to function, because once it becomes mundane and repetitive, and it's kind of no. My brain says no. Like literally, it's what it is. I can't say, oh, it's all in my head. I'll just, take medication, do something and change it. No, it's this is something we're not negotiating on, says my brain. This is how you're going to do things. So I've learned that I have a physiological aspect that I have to incorporate into my consciousness and into my physically, I don't have a physical aversion to certain. No, I do. I can't eat eggs first thing in the morning. I can't eat pork. Um, I eat olives. It makes me sick. I also eat. I've eaten lab rice. That makes me sick. But if I've eaten stuff to the point that it makes me throw up, I in the past in my childhood, I have a food aversion. It won't let me. My body won't let me physically do that. Like it shuts down. Like you physically, you can't physically do it. It's against physics. It's not, but my body behaves as if it's against physics. It's physically impossible, and there's no aid tool to do it. So, um, even though it's all in my head, I have to accommodate that. I have to accommodate my physiological response to the fact that, it shuts down my executive function. Mentally, the person that I am mentally, the consciously, and the person I am subconsciously are the same person. If I were to split it up, like some people say, "Oh, my depression has a name." No, my depression does not have a name. My depression does not have a personality. My ADHD does not have a personality. My physiological body has a separate name from my consciousness, from my subconsciousness. My subconsciousness is amazing, does calculations like you wouldn't believe. It does things that might you're just like, wait, what? Where did this intangible, beautiful thing come from? My subconscious is amazing. And it does amazing stuff. And I've got to quit loading it with the negative shadow self because it's amazing. Um, so I have to obey the physical laws that my physiological body, my body sets, where it controls the executive function switch, which still, like, my consciousness can't get over. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. So they're like, where are you getting this from? Where is this coming from? Why are you doing, where are these, what? No, no. Huh. So the fact that I can get out of bed is amazing, but it doesn't do anything if my executive function turns off and we're just watching Caren season 3, done. Just done. So I have to obey the physics of my body. I'm trapped in the wrong body. my consciousness is like, no, this, we are not, no, I want to do this. And my body says, no, that doesn't exist. That's not going to happen. That's a pretty fantasy. It's a pretty picture. Go it. And then my subconscious goes, hey, do you know you can this? I'm like, where's this information coming from? How'd you know? It's like, where'd I get that feeling from? So I personally don't have an inner child because my inner child pretended to be a child when I was a child to try to fit in, partly because I didn't understand anything about anybody fitting in or what a child is or anything. So younger me was really an adult mind and a child's emotionally child body. So I treat my youngest like that because my youngest is showing signs. You catch something here and there of my youngest being a logical, self-reliant person, independent, and doesn't get the fact that, oh, I could physically get burnt from cooking because I'm not strong enough to lift the pan or something, or I don't have the awareness or something. So I'm like, well, you can't do this with another. I can't do this. You just sit there. No. Like, no. Okay. So it's like, yeah, so I have to take these three different realities. They are not identities. They're three, they're not identities. I don't know, like, I wondered if I had different identities, but no, I'm definitely me. I'm a physical me. I have like it's just like the controls, the wiring, the like Ratatouille where he's on top pulling the hair of the chef. Uh, like physically, that's not going to happen. I'm like, if we change our perspective, our motivation, our understanding, we can get this. Like, fix the damn control buttons to get the physical body to do what that's supposed to. Basically. Hopefully I bleeped that out. Yeah. But so then so I have to deal with autism, ADHD, which are two interchangeable things. So autism needs schedule, routine, predictability, navigationally able. ADD just goes, let's try this. So I want to open the rest of my day. So out of the 16 hours, that leaves me with 14 hours. If I don't sleep through it, that leaves me 14 hours of whatever needs to be done, whatever comes up, whatever is presented in front of me that needs taken care of. Just go spend time with my kids for 14 hours if I want, type thing. I want to get what needs done in the first 2 hours of my day routinely. And then whatever else is having to be taken care of, even if it's a day of just resting, because apparently physically I need to just watch stuff. That way I don't have a week's worth because I've separated it out. I need to do this at breakfast, this at lunch, this at dinner. So if I make all the food or have it so that it prepares itself within the first 2 hours of my day, I can do the rest of my crapazoid stuff and have a spontaneous, restful, or spontaneous, or fun, or put in extra work, extra cleaning, get started on a project, finish the whole quilt if I want to just work on the quilt, or work on the quilt, work on a cardboard project, work on a paper project, and clean and do things and all that stuff afterwards. It's a hypothesis, so we are going to test we are going to test this. We are going to test this hypothesis that we're going to try a method or discipline, a self-discipline of taking care of whole routine stuff in the first 2 hours. Taking care of myself, taking care of, like getting dressed, exercising, getting all the food that I need to eat, like the 12 dozen or whatever diet things that we need, the beans, nuts, proteins, seeds, dark greens, those kind of things. Just, shove that in there the first 2 hours. Have it prepped at least so that I can eat it throughout the day, or have it so that it's ready to be prepped. Something where it's managed in the first 2 hours of my day. Talking to you guys will take up a chunk, so maybe inviting you guys to come with me while I finish all my, chores and my coffee and this chunk of this stuff within the first 2 hours of my day. It's a lot of stuff. And, reflections, meditation, spiritual stuff, taking care of my spiritual stuff, taking care of my physical needs, taking care of my mental health, taking care of, studying, taking care of all my office work, whatever routinely needs done, doing it and shoving it in 2 hours, which is, I would think, is unrealistic. But then that leaves me 14 hours. If I can manage to stay awake, that leaves me 14 hours. A 16-hour day of just having pure freedom to do whatever my ADHD chooses to do that day. I can rest, I can be creative, I can be cleaning, I can be mommy, I can be, oh, let's go do this, let's go do that, or an opportunity is presented, and all right, let's go. Making sure that I spend time outside, that I can get outside more, I can get the cleaning done inside more if I do it within my 2 hours and manage something within that 2 hours and get the studying done, or understand that that's the day I want to study this rabbit hole. Spend 10 minutes in the morning with language, learning new language. Like, here's my studying regiment. And then I spend 10 minutes, or I spend 1 hour getting groomed, getting food, getting exercise done all in 1 hour, and then another hour studying on YouTube. And then go through whether or not I want to study more. Getting out and scheduling, that way I can schedule the weddings that I need to officiate and all the other stuff that I need to do. And that's fine. So I am going to try this, do everything in the first 2 hours of my day. So this is the hypothesis. So this is the formulating and looking at what kind of variables I need, what kind of things I need. So the first 2 hours from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. is me time to take care of anything I need to do. And now my fiance is getting back on first at this new job site. So I guess I need to set him up at night so that he is all set to get up and I can be busy YouTubing, doing whatever, and he can have his time in the morning to do whatever he does. Hopefully we'll see each other throughout on this job site afterwards, and I can be present. That's the key, is being present in my inspiration and in my rest and in my, how I can be present with my ADHD. If it had an entity of its own, to be that way I can be autistic and attention deficit disorder, and they don't fight each other. I can be my yin and I can be my yang. I'm devoting 2 hours a day to one, so that the other so it looks like I'm putting the investment of my time with my creative side, not my meticulous side. So giving So it looks like my creative attention deficit disorder. So it looks like my autism is the one that's going to put out the details of my plan out my websites and my things like that that I need done, the business things and the things that but then I can produce my, because there's such a fluctuation with attention deficit disorder. And the autism gets tired out of, like when you watch your kid run around, or your dog, or a very energetic person just run around and do like this and do like that and do like 101 other, give a mouse a cookie, kind of like follow you around. If you give a mouse a cookie, they're going to want a glass of milk and they're going to want to do it themselves. And they kind of lead you around, and it's, no, we're going to do this and we're going to make time for that. So I'm devoting 2 hours to that a day. So it'll be a rigid waking up time no matter when I went to bed. And it'll be a rigid 2 hour block of this is devoted to me. I can build this up. So 2 hours a day devoted to that. And then I can bridge maybe 4 hours out of the 16 into building the business. Like 2 more hours of just business, just building up the wise one, the church, whatever I needed. I'm devoted to 2 hours a day of just cleaning. 2 more hours a day is just cleaning the basement, getting the basement done, and then within a week or 2 weeks, I can have that task done. I can have that accomplished. That is the hypothesis. Just 2 hours of, so 4 hours eventually. And, I might not get every day where I will be productive in my 2 hours, but that is the time that I am devoting towards the need for routine, the need for meticulous details and discipline. And because it's hard to express, but if you follow the highs and the lows of attention deficit disorder, creative, if I keep feeding myself dopamine throughout the day, little dopamine hits, I can follow dopamine, I can follow creativity, I can follow serotonin, I can follow a rush of happiness. I could follow my happiness for 14 hours a day of just following happiness, of being free to do whatever without the guilt that I hadn't finished this task. I'm going to see what it does. Let's see if it gives me a feeling of control, because control is an illusion. But if I make time for this, I will grab a discipline, a method. I will developing this method, developing this discipline, and getting it to render a life that I'm happy with. And we will see. We will see where this goes. So we're going to try the post-it notes to learn the discipline, to learn the method, to learn the way that I want to spend my first 2 hours of the day, and let that just start accumulating and building. And let's see where that goes. See where that goes. Just watch it. I should log it. I should be on YouTube for 2 hours a day doing this. Exercising, getting things done. So if you guys want to follow, if that's something that you want to do, 2 hours of YouTube every morning, just brain dumping and doing things that need done. Yeah. And see, that way because I have so many things that I want to do, so many different types of income that I want to create from home that need my full attention. But a lot of that is the guilt that I have my attention on things that my autism says needs done routinely, needs this stability, needs this predictability, needs this navigation. So if I put a concentration, so it's equally like the ADHD inspired happiness that I'm looking for throughout my day, the creative process of highs and lows. And you study and you work meticulously at something. And then when you're trying to yield results, there are times where your brain needs a period of rest. Literally, it's the more rest or the better the rest, the not finishing your book, but instead going and doing the laundry, cooking, going out with friends, and doing the things that you need to do that have nothing to do with the book that you need to write is part of the creative process. So if you take the guilt out of that, that's a lot of weight. You took off like a ton of weight. Like, nope, I'm in the serenading. So your brain starts to do it builds like it's in there building a muscle in its rest. You literally are working and writing and grabbing resources, creating an outline, following a plot, taking out certain details, and you've got this creative story. You want to tell it, and you're inspired, and you go through it, and then you need a little newness. You need a little self-reflection. You need a little rest. And it's due like such and such time. And then all of a sudden, like you get this, oh my gosh, it's due in 10 hours. I have to finish and then I have to edit and then I have to do this much work. If you take the guilt out of the rest period, you have more energy to the finishing it up in say 10 hours, and then your book comes out great. Honestly, it looks like you did 5 minutes worth of, oh, I did it all in 10 hours. No, you did it in a process of 2 months. Because without that meticulous rabbit hole digging, outlining, researching, and stuff, and it looks like it's all outlined, but without that rest, that ability to self-reflect, that ability to grab new experiences, the ability to go out and live. You have to live in order to, because if you're in the same environment, I watched kids that isolate, and they have to create what the other character in their stories do. So when they go and they play with kids again that are isolated, no, you have to do this and that, and they micromanage their play partner. I've noticed this over and over and over again because they had to create that. They were busy having to be the other person in the play, in the playing. So when they play with another person, they micromanage that person in that isolation. So if you're a writer or your creation piece or your music or your art or your wood project or whatever, you rest and you go out and you live. Don't feel guilty that you have a book due tomorrow and you're sitting there drinking with your buddies and ignoring the fact that you're even a writer. And you get that, or that you're even, and that's your creative work and creative process. And you just ignore it. It doesn't exist. Because if you don't stop yourself from looking directly at it, your tunnel vision stops you from having a full picture. So I need the highs and the lows that the attention deficit brings for the visionary process. That took me so much to learn. If you knew how old I was how many decades I missed having a better life had I followed these steps, that I'm going to see if it actually works. I'm going to test it. My soul would have felt so much better, quite frankly. It's a waste because I don't understand how holistic people go and they devote 8 hours a day at school and they come home and they have their cute little life and they're okay and then they go back the same day, the same time for the same amount of man. That kills me. That like the part of me just dies. So that routine, that mundane, for somebody who's neurotypical versus neurodivergent. So neurotypical, instead of chunking everything in 2 hours, I would recommend that you sort it out throughout the day. It's a lot. It's concentrated amount of work for 2 hours. So for neurotypicals, I would recommend not knowing your life, not knowing all the variables that you have to deal with. I would recommend you take it and you separate it out throughout your day for a healthy way for you to do it. The neurodivergence, depending on your situation, whether or not you should condense intense amount of work or whatever you need to do in your schedule. That needs done the first 2 hours. This is the talk process. So the rest and the I need to take a day off and the I need to do nothing is as important as the going and finding the research, the pulling the work, the things that need done, and the way that things need done. You know, that needs to simmer. Basically, the brain needs to build a muscle in that rest. But if you're banging away with guilt while you're building that muscle, the muscle is not going to build as beautifully and as strong as taking an actual break. You'd be surprised. The versus the negative versus the positive versus the punishment only versus the positive only, the strength of positive enforcement only versus the negative enforcement only versus a combination of the two in checks and balances. Yeah. So I gotta sit down and do this work because it's going to pay off for the later me. So I'm going to, give my physical me I don't have a personal, it doesn't have a personality. It just has a, physical me, conscious me, the thing that we like to think is our spirit and ourselves, and then rehearsal, and then the subconscious me, which is very real. So, yeah, I need to get all three to intertwine, to break themselves into a singular being of existence. And yeah, I have to work all that out. I have to work out autism, the ADD, this type of neurodivergence in a world where I function with or I coexist with neurotypicals that may or may not be neurotypical. Yeah. So the most fascinating thing is there is a DNA structure that but we complement neurotypicals and neurodivergents complement neurotypicals and neurotypicals complement neurodivergent people in so many ways that it's a shame that there was so much genocide on trying to get rid of the neurodivergent people. It's just, wow. Yeah. Yeah. You're better off with your neurodivergent friends. And I am better off with my neurotypical friends and family to coexist. But learning that communication And so we're going to try. So my inspiration is to try that I've just talked about for like an hour, is this routine. So get into these things. And so I'm stargating these tasks that I have to do. These routine things. They're a lot. But it just looks more than it is. It's concentrated. So okay. So that down there. Okay. One more. Outline projects. Okay, that's part of the brain. Okay, we put those into their dividers. So this, yeah, we'll figure this out. Spiritual. So meditation. There's different forms of meditation. So we have to recognize that. But we're going to do like short little breathing exercises type meditation or relaxation, just getting grounded in our day and in our focus, getting our focus grounded per day. It's 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes worth of, doing it. Make the exercise and stretch. Okay. And then I'm going through a whole packet of these. So this will evolve, this will change, this will become something different, and it'll be a system that I'll work it out, and then I'll try to get it out to the masses if it works for me, and try to find the people that need that particular method or that particular discipline, because not everybody needs this. Some people already have their life in order, their things together, and there's stuff that they don't need done. But yeah, I'll have to sell it because I'm poor, and Dave Ramsey doesn't just hand out books for free. He sells his books, and his kids sell their books, and they made an industry. Yeah. And so method of it works, I used to do stuff for his neighbors and his friends to come out and work out certain budgets, and that was nice. But then he had bills to pay, so yeah. Alright, so I need yeah, there's no way I'm gonna do flattening. Yeah, that's that. I think those are all it's done. Okay. I need first one to be my 2 hours. So, and then daily stuff. Cooking food. Schedule out. Because lunch and dinner. Gosh, yeah, no, those are fun. Okay, we'll call those done. Okay. And then we build those up. Yeah. So that's what right now. And I have to get working and breakfast and things. Yeah, you don't have to watch 2 hours, and I have no idea how to split these up into chapters. 2 hours is a big chunk of you just going pew 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 spew talk, crochet, spend that time crocheting. Yeah. Tomorrow's Sunday. Tomorrow we talk about spiritual, religious stuff. Yeah. It'll be interesting. Okay. Love you guys. Love you. I love you. And I hope you guys have a good one. Till next we meet. Have a good one.